Let's move you to Durban now, where two people, including a one-year-old child, have been killed. This is after a fire ripped through the Kennedy Road informal settlement in Durban. This was in the early hours of this morning. More than 80 shacks were destroyed by the blaze, leaving hundreds homeless. It's unclear what started the fire, which residents say started around 2 a.m. What we do know so far is that emergency services are still at the scene. Relief organization Gift of the Givers has also responded to provide assistance to the hundreds who have been affected. For more on this now, Ayanda Mhlongo is joining us now for a live update in Durban. So Ayanda, another unfortunate incident there, and here's the thing about the Kennedy informal settlement. It's usually prone to such incidences. Take us through what we know so far about this incident and what are you seeing, what are you hearing so far?
Kolisi, a very good morning to you and good morning to our viewers. You're absolutely correct. This is an area, unfortunately, that is prone to such disasters. In fact, Kolisi, just a month ago, we were here where, again, a similar incident happened where there was a shack fire which left scores of people homeless and about 40 shacks were grazed to the ground during that fire. And again, last night, a resident saying at around 2 a.m. in the early hours of this morning, they're woken to screams of get out, there is a fire. And so from the residents that we have been speaking to, who are utterly devastated at what has happened here in Kolisi, as you'd know, let me just step out of shot, in fact, just for our viewers to get a glimpse of exactly what has happened and just the state of the damage here at Kennedy Road. You'd see there in your visuals the shacks, pieces of corrugated iron burnt to the ground. There's absolutely nothing left of these homes. Our viewers would be seeing there some of the residents are trying to piece together what they may be able to find in this rubble. Also extremely dangerous as well, is that we have these cables, power cables as well, that seem to be exposed. You'll also see young children as well here. People left with just the clothes on their back. We're just seeing some of the women. I'm going to ask my colleague Japan Matebule just to also pan a bit to my right. Some of the women just left in their nightwear that they were wearing last night when they were called to evacuate and leave their shacks. So absolutely devastating. And of course, sadly, in this incident, as we know, as you've said there in your introduction, that two people, a young lady and we understand a one-year-old child that was killed during this fire. What we get from the residents in police is that they understand that the fire was started by a candle in one of the shacks, and quickly afterwards it then spread across this section of Kennedy Road informal settlement. This police is one of the biggest and one of the oldest informal settlements here in the Durban CBD. In fact, residents have been here for over 20 years. Some of them have been telling us waiting for them to be moved to proper houses. But let me bring in one of the residents here, just who was, of course, his house was also damaged. He lost everything that he had. Baba sibonga kakhulu nje isikhathi sakho sithole igama nesibongo.
Igama lami ngumlekeleli waDongcaba.
Baba Dongcaba, sibonge nje isikhathi sakho boti. Isimo esimbi kade silana nathi nje ngekudala njenge SABC sesiyaphinda futhi niyasibiza sekuphinde futhi kwaba khona umonakalo. Mhlawumbe mawungasibekela nje siyazi ukuthi ngathi uqale ezintatha namhlanje, ungasibekela nje ukuthi ke kwenzakaleni.
Kubhlungu impela nje. Kuthe ngabo 12 ebusuku ngeze umakhelwane ememeza ethi kuyasha ngaphuma nami singiyabheka umlilo soseduzana. Kwathiwa ukuthi ke kunosisi obengaphakathi endlini ovalelekile lapho kusuke khona umlilo. Mangithola ke imbangela yayo ngathi kube ikhandlela mabechaza. Ngathi ubevalelwa abangani bayo ngaphakathi. Shuthi kwase okheleka ikhandlela waseshela phansi nomntwana osamncane. Okubhlungu kakhulu ke akuphuma ngalutho impahla zethu nje zishile phakathi even ama ID okwesakhulu abanye bebengekho kwenzeka lesigame ube semsebenzini kunzima kakhulu bese ngajabula kakhulu nohulumeni mengasumela phezulu akwazi ukuthi asheshe ahlangabezana lenkinga esibhekene nayo.
Ngibonile ukuthi abecisha umlilo sebehambile ke bona siphambane nabo bekhona ke nenhlangano bese ifikile njenga gift of the givers abafikile kuseni ukuzama ukuzoletha ukusizwa ngale kwalokho bakhona abanye mhlawumbe sebefikile kwisiphathimandla ukuzobheka lo monakalo.
Hayi kwamanje bebengakabi khona bekusafike nje gift of the givers kuphela.
Mhlawumbe mongasibekela njengoba nathi simela ngenxa ukuthi akuhambeki ukuze sikwazi ukuthi sibone lo mlilo usuke lana wahamba impela kuze kuye bengalana bangakanani abantu abathe bakhahlamezeka kulomlilo.
Mningi kakhulu iziningi kakhulu izindleko zami ngicabanga mhlawumbe ziyela ko100 ziningi kakhulu.
Angakathola ukuthi mhlawumbe kuzoyiwe holo noma khona indawo senhlelelwe yona ngoba ngiyabona khona nezingane ezincane nesimo sezulu futhi asihle.
Bese ngathoni ngoba even ukansela bengakafiki mhlasimbe masefikile mhlawumbe khona iplan mhlawumbe ethile azoyenza kodwa ngokujwayelekile mengabe kushila abantu bake bahlaliswe khona eholo lomphakathi okwesikhashana usalungisa ukuthi indaba zithwala into njengama-material kanjani.
Asibonga kakhulu ke isikhathi sakho. All right, that was Mr. Dongabe, one of the residents who was just telling us what happened last night and the fact that he himself lost everything that he had in terms of course, the firefighters worked throughout the night to bring this blaze under control, and they have, when we were arriving, in fact, the firefighters had finished and were leaving. And so now they are waiting for the authorities to come through and service then give us a way forward in terms of what's going to happen to these hundreds of people, most children as well, concerningly, that have been left homeless. We have been speaking to the Department of Cooperative Governance, and we do understand that the officials are on their way here, so we will be catching up with them a little bit later. But as Mr. Dongabe was saying, that they are not desperate for help. This comes as the province was, of course, expecting a cold front to hit. It has been raining throughout the night, and just to add, of course, to the challenges that they have is to try and deal with this situation while it is raining. It has also been cold, and again, let me just step out of shot for our viewers to see exactly what is happening. As I was saying, concerning the young children, there you see in your visuals a little boy. They're also trying to pick up some of the corrugated iron sheets as residents have started to try and pick up the pieces. At this point, as Mr. Dongabe was saying, they don't know what is going to happen to them and where they're going to go. And as such, some of the people that we were speaking to earlier on saying that they're trying to clear up all the rubble so that they can start to rebuild because they're not too sure whether or not they are going to get shelter anywhere else. So certainly a rather devastating situation for the people here, as I said, compounded of course by the fact that it is raining, and this area seems to be potentially quite dangerous as well. Live wires, water pipes that have been burst, that are burst as well, leaking or running water into these live wires, so also quite dangerous. In fact, for us as well, as we were trying to make our way to this particular section, really difficult to get here. But of course, we are going to be here as we await officials from the municipality and officials from the Department of Cooperative Governance to then indicate to us what is going to be the next step and where these residents are going to go. For now, let me hand it back to you. But as I said, we will remain here at the scene and give our viewers an update as to what is going to happen with these residents here.
That's our Ayanda Mhlongo watching that story there. Do stay safe. We're looking forward to our next update.